Hello, good morning. Hello everyone. How are you guys doing? Who's here? Who we have here? Lamp, Cat, Dog, Joe, Chaos, PCU, Duskblight, Silent, Tactician, Riding Hood. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. Fox Prime. Hello, Mango Tango. Hey. Aki, what's up? Just finished watching yesterday's stream? Hell yeah. Just in time.
Alright. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting by now. But yeah, sorry for the delay. I got distracted by doing everyone's much beloved Gunsmoke Frontline. But now I'm here. Why is my model sort of lagging? That didn't happen before. Oh well. It's that time of the year again, yeah. Got an extra bit of sleep. Let's go! Yeah, I think I think the 11 screen uses too much resources. I was lagging my YouTube studio. Doing rank play on a gacha fighting game. Oh, please learn from my mistake and live your lives better. I will take that into consideration. Thank you very much. Do not get into fighting game gacha. What time of the year? It's Gunsmoke Frontline time of the year. Or much beloved Gunsmoke Frontline. I got to 4K with Meshti. Damn! I can never reduce that much damage, but that's probably because I only have like 2 or 3 properly built units. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I have Meshti almost ready. I need to finish racing affection with Crookey. Then I'll probably go double check on Macchiato. I think I have Macchiato build, but I don't remember if I'm missing something, so I'll have to double check that. And I need to finish building Tololo. I haven't finished building Tololo. I did 4400 without platoon, 25% buff, nor Mekshti. Oh, nice. Nice. Zenless is getting ready for season 2, yeah. So a trailer. We got fucking Paradeus in Zenless now. I saw a trailer, and I got to that part when they show like a cult, and I was like, oh my god, that's Paradeus. It's fucking Paradeus again. The trauma is too strong. They definitely are like a plague, But yeah, I'm excited for that. I still really like Zenless and Honkai Impact quite a bit, despite me being disappointed in the other horror games, kind of. I mean, the other big ones. Like Genshin and Star Rail. I might continue watching the story because I'm curious. I'm curious about where the story is going. and like the new and Aphelion, Alfreus, and yeah, like, and it's kind of because I mean they're kind of doing a lot of Honka Impact parallels, so I'm like, where are they going with this? Are they actually gonna connect the games sooner than expected? But it's just it's too much of a pain to play. It's one of those games that unless you dedicate like your entire life to it, you'll have trouble like clearing basic content, which I don't like in games. But I do have like fully built units in the Star Rail and whatnot, but you know, they're not useful anymore. I need other units that I don't have built or straight up don't have. So like, you know, when you get to that point, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And now they put like a character with a fucking global passive that you just by having the character on your account, you don't even need to have it on the team. You get a passive skill, which is like, yeah, no. Really? Yep. There's the new character. Just by having her in your account, you get like a passive revive during battle, like 1 revive during battle. And you know, you have all the hardcore players being like, oh, but her skill is useless because, you know, they never die in battle. But like, that is not the point. The skill itself, whether it's useful or not, the usefulness of the skill is not the point. The point is that they made a character with a global passive. Which is like, I do not trust that this will be the last instance of that, you know? Hello, Sony. Imagine making game Sun. Yeah, couldn't be a Star Rail team or Genshin team. Zenless I like, and that's the thing. That's the funny thing, because you know when a game makes like the story easy for me, and like I like the characters, I'm more compelled to actually build up characters in that game than in a game that actually requires me to build up characters to progress. So like, for example, keeping it to Hoyo games, my Star Rail experience versus my Zenless experience. I was having a lot of fun with the Star Rail, you know, and the farming was kind of lame though, because, you know, there's no auto. I mean, there's auto, but not the one that skips the thing. You still need to kind of wait there for the stage to get cleared. But it's like, you know, kind of whatever. But then as you level up, it gets harder. But, you know, it's still manageable. But then after a certain point, you know, they kind of started like walling the story content. Besides, like, oh, you need to have like this particular team or like this particular strategy to beat this character. And like for that, you need to have like this character or this character, and you need to have it like fully maxed with all the proper equipment, fully maxed. And well, like, yeah, gacha. I mean, Hoyo raids are always bullshit. If you don't care about the characters, then what is the point? I mean, more than the characters, for me, it's a mix between characters and a story, you know, so. I thought the point of a gacha game was to play characters you wanted. No. Not for Hoyo, at least. But yeah, it's like, you know, you need to build like this character, or like, you know, or use this character. And you know, I remember when I used to stream it, remember that I always get people be like, oh, just use like X character. And I'm like, I don't have it. I didn't roll because I did not care for the character. I'm not gonna roll for a character just because I need it for my team. You know, the moment a game starts to kind of forcing me for that, I'm like, yeah, no. And like, you know, the story was interesting, but not to that point. It kind of killed my momentum, and I just And I still haven't installed. I mean, I'm considering uninstalling for my PlayStation because it ran out of space. Like it don't have space for the current update. And like, you know, I was planning on moving Zenless to Xbox, so I could have more space on my PlayStation, but that's not happening until June. So I'm like, I guess a Tyrell must go. And you know, I found a channel that just kinda... I found one of these channels that just records gameplay, like with no commentary, no nothing. So yeah, I'm like, I might just watch the story. Waifu over meta for me always. Yeah, if I don't like the character, I'm not going to pull. Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, all the people that dedicate their lives to Star Rail are like, oh, but how come you don't have like this character or like fully maxed with all their equipment and things and etc. And I'm like, yeah, I have a life outside of that game. Thank you very much. But like, as I was saying, you know, the comparison, then you have Zenless, you know, used to give it to Hoyo games. And Zenless, they straight up just they give you characters to the story. Depending on the story, depending on the character, you know, they can give you 1 or 2 characters. Sometimes they give you the entire team. Thank you very much. I do shower. Yes, exactly. And like, you know, you can add your characters to the team if you want, but usually the character they give you, even if it's just 1, it's enough to clear the story stage. You know, so technically, I don't actually need to level up characters in Zenless to progress the story. However, if you see my Zenless account, it's probably my better built one from my all my Hoyo games. And like, I don't do it all the time, but I do have periods of time in which, like, you know, I log in daily, I do the dailies, and like the daily farming. I do Hollow Zero once a week. You know, do all the weekly stuff, the events. Then I'll drop it for like a few weeks, and then I'll be back. But you know, when I'm back on it, I'm like very consistent. And I said, even though I don't really need to, because they just give me the characters to clear the story. But the fact that, you know, they just let me brace through the story makes me want to play the game more than actually having to farm just to progress the story. Yeah, Zenless pretty fun. They do that in Honkai Impact too. They give you characters to the story. I mean, not early on, but like start on chapter 7, I think. Somewhere around there. They start just straight up giving you the characters to the story. Buying Zenless being like the Hoyo games, but not aggressively forcing you to use meta and overthink. Yeah. And that's the other thing also, like if you're skilled in like dodging and whatnot, you can usually just get away with whatever. You might not get like the S rank clear, but you should be able to clear anyway. You scam a lot of stuff with suboptimal unless it's time challenges, basically. Yeah. As long as there's no timer, you can just kind of go, and if you're good at dodging and avoiding damage, you can kind of get away with whatever. Also, I was lucky enough to get Miyabi and her engine, you know, her weapon, quote unquote. And I built her up, and now nothing is hard. I unlocked easy mode basically. It's just like Miyabi, the fox girl, ice fox girl. It's funny because she's ice element. But then I'm just like, then the stage sometimes give you like recommended attribute, and I'll be like, I don't know, fire. And I'm like, wrong, Miyabi. Like recommended character or electric, wrong, Miyabi. Boss is resistant to ice, wrong. Nothing is resistant to Miyabi. Everything has Miyabi weakness. Finally got back in to find out Pulchra is a free character now. Yeah, they gave out Pulchra. They gave out Harumasa at one point also. I have Harumasa, which was very good for me because I love Harumasa. So I was like, yay! I'm getting one of the characters I like for free? Amazing. It was the same with Pulchra, actually. I really like Pulchra. And then, I was like, oh, I hope I get Pulchra rolling for, like, Anbi or whatever. And they were like, oh, here, Pulchra is out for free. And I'm like, oh, yes. Being forced into meta is annoying. Yeah. I do like the look of the character in Zenless, yeah. The thing is also that in Zenless they make all the characters very unique, since they don't use the Hoyo formula of having, like 3 or 4 models, like body models, and just adding clothes onto them. Every character has kind of its own model. I got her 3/4 build, and damn, it is indeed easy mode. Yeah. And now I got Ambi, Soldier Zero Ambi, which is basically electric Miyabi. It doesn't crit as strong, but if you're fighting something that has electric weakness, Ambi go. I can do the clone crew now. I can't actually because I do not have Soldier 11. I wish I had her because I'm very lacking on the fire department. The fire character department. I don't think I have like a proper fire DPS. Like I have a few fire supports. You know, I got Coletta, Lucy. But I don't think I have a proper fire DPS. A blind sniper woman looks really cool. Trigger is cool. I'm swapping fire except Bornis. I didn't put for Bornis either, so I'm just like, you know, I have no fire. But yeah, Trigger is very cool. I'm currently rolling for her. The thing is also that, you know, I can kind of enjoy Hoyo games and gachas in general. Because I reach a point in my life in which, especially in Hoyo games, since, you know, it's the rates are hard and like it's very hard to get a lot of currency, I reach a point in which I don't really care whether I get a character or not. So like, you know, I threw all my pools at Anby, Soldier Zero Anby, and I got her. Then whatever I could scrunch up a pool, I will try to pull in her engine. I didn't get it, but I'm like, whatever. And now like, you know, I am scrunching up pools and rolling for Trigger, just doing solos for Trigger, see if I get her or not. And if I don't get her, well, there is more pity build on for Vivian. That's coming next. So, you know, I kind of don't give a fuck anymore. And if I like a character, I'll roll. And if I get it, nice. I'll build them up. And if I don't get it, whatever. I'll keep playing and wait for the next one. Like, I don't give a fuck. And that mentality, I feel, can make your gacha experience very enjoyable. Which is also why I think I can't really go back to Star Rail, since Star Rail kind of requires you to have the new characters. And I stopped playing around the time Rappa released. So, you know, I don't have any of the new peeps. I have any of the new characters. I almost logged in again I wanted to run for Silverwolf again. Get her third copy, but I didn't. Like, man, not even Silverwolf made me go back, so I'm like, But we'll see. I said, because I mean, I kind of want to keep reading. It's such a pain to play. And they did add like an easy mode, quote unquote, but it's only for boss battles. And it's only after they kick your ass. You know, you can't really choose at the beginning. So you can be like 20 minutes struggling during a battle, and then you'll die, and then it'll give you the option like, do you want to lower the difficulty? And it's like, bitch. Why didn't you ask me before? Wish Star was easier to get into it. It just got harder. Yeah, that's the thing. It just kind of keeps getting hard. As I said, you know, if you dedicate your time to the game, if that is like one of the only games you play, and like you play every day and have all your units maxed and like roll for the meta characters and whatnot, you're probably fine. But if you're more of a casual game enjoyer that just kind of likes to read story, and follow character journeys and stuff, it kind of gets annoying. And someone said also, that's also something I didn't like. Well, one of the many things I didn't like about Genshin. And in Genshin is a bit more doable, I feel. But also, like, you know, if you want to do the battles like easily, there's like a certain meta teams. And I'm like, but what if I just want to use the character that it's not meta because I like them? And it's like, yeah, no, then you're gonna struggle. Like, even for me, when I had someone back then that will just farm my characters for me. But, you know, they were so meta-minded that I was like, oh, but I want to use this, like, this character and this character. And they're like, no, you can't. So I had like only one character I really liked in my team. And on Starry, I got it easy for a while because I got Firefly and I built her up. You know, and for a while Firefly will just delete everything. But that is not the case anymore. I got Fushuan, you know, I got like a Firefly team, so sometimes I can get around things. But even now, sometimes I like, you know, even with that, I struggle. So I'm like, bro, like I have a max Firefly. How come I can't clear this fucking mob battle? Get out of here. And yeah, they are doing a Fate collab. It got announced, but there's no date. They just kind of threw it out there. Yeah, no, it was announced a while ago, but they just kind of... This was one of those things that they just kind of announced to hype people, I guess, but there's no details about it. There's leaks already started to come out, so I'm guessing it will come out this year. Assuming the leaks are real, you know, I don't follow leak culture things, so I don't know which leakers are the trustworthy ones and which aren't. I heard Firefly was like maximum levels of player sympathy milking or something. What happened with that? I guess. Supposedly we're getting Saber and Archer. If the leaks are to be believed. Which, I mean, Saber was expected. Of course we're getting Saber. Of course they're putting Saber into a collab. But yeah, it's a collab with Fate Stay Night. Specifically. So yeah, it's Saber and Archer apparently. But yeah, the thing with Firefly was that, you know, she kind of shows up out of nowhere and she's like this very sweet, innocent looking girl. And then you find out that she has like a terminal galaxy cancer thing. That will basically eat away at her mobility. And eventually she will just dissipate or something. They kind of make it seem like she will just kind of evaporate, like Thanos-like. And we're like, oh. because she is part of like an experiment. She's the clone girl of Starrail. Hoyo loves its clone girls. You know, we have clone girls in every game. I don't know if there's clone girls in Genshin yet, but there surely are. And if there are not, there will be. Hoyo loves its clone. Tragically clone girls. But yeah, she was basically part of a bunch of clone girls that were made to fight and defend a certain planet from like a bug menace that destroys planets. Catherine is a robot. I don't think I don't know if there's been more details on that. The saber face problem? No, it's not the saber face problem because these are straight up clones. Yeah, that's basically the Firefly thing. I love Firefly, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's basically it. And then people hated on her because they were like, "Oh, she's just being pushed onto the main character, like it's a romance interest, and she has no character and no personality." And then other people started hating on her because they're like, "Oh, they're just selling her to be the girlfriend of the male playable character specifically." I don't know. There was a bunch of weird, regular Hoyo Twitter player drama that made absolutely no sense. I think the players can tell when something is there to milk sympathy. I mean, technically, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because, I mean, that is just a way that they get you to care about characters. The thing is that, you know, as it always happens, it can be done in a more natural way, I guess you could say. And like over time. And then you'll be like, oh no. Like, for example, I think in Gears Frontline there's a lot of characters that are just, you know, there's a lot of characters that are just kind of there to make you feel bad. Like, even now we got like all the like the guys, Dmitry's friends, like sacrificing themselves and dying. But I feel like Gears Frontline can do it. Usually, can do it in a way in which you're actually like, oh no. Or like, you know, we got Maclean and Light. Or even with characters that have like a bit less screen time, like, you know, Angelia's brother, the one that got turned into a Nito. Like that arc was something else. Yeah, it's just like other mediums. They want you to care about the characters. Like all medium does it, but you know, some writers, some writing teams do it best than others. And yeah, you know, the thing is like that is one of the issues that I have with horror games. Is that you know, they just kind of straight up come and tell you everything pretty early on, if not right off the bat. So there's not like a steps of like, you know, getting you to care about the character first, and then, you know, you really try backstory and you're like, oh no, and then you maybe care more, but because you already had like a sort of connection with the character, whether that was like a strong connection or not, you know, there was already a connection. But in horror games, they kind of use throw it, so you will care for the character instead of, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like kind of the other way around. I don't know. It's a weird, you know. I feel like it's a weird balance that you gotta get, and sometimes horror games pull it off well. Sometimes they do not. Yeah, they're usually not that great at the build-up part of things. You know, they have like great conclusions and things, you know, like very anime-like scenes to finish up arcs and whatnot, that you're like, wow, that's so cool. But sometimes the build-up is not all there. Sometimes there is, sometimes it is not. I was about to bring her brother up. It was such a good arc. Yeah, that was so good. I think the way I will describe it is like a D&D player who made a backstory for a character for the first time. Like they feel like they have to use it at every turn. Yeah. I feel like I think that you hit the nail in the head. You know, and I don't think they do it that badly with Firefly, but it's still like pretty early on, you know, because you. The thing is also that they have this thing in horror games usually. In which, how do you say it? They kind of force you to care about a character by just showing it into your face. You know, like that's a big issue I had in Genshin, that you will get to a new town or a new country, a new area, and you will talk 5 minutes with a character. And then there will be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll help you because that's what friends are for. And I'll be there like, we literally just met. I say they don't. So yeah, the build-up is not all there with Firefly, but it also is not like a straight off the bat. But they do that, in which, you know, you're kind of stuck with her for a bit for no reason. Because they kind of throw her into your face out of nowhere. And then you're just kind of forced to stick with her because you're a good guy. You know, you get like no real option. And, you know, through that forced interaction, you kind of see how she's, you know, I see some aspects of her. But it's not, you know, the kind of the forced aspect, I guess, is still kind of there. I just kind of stopped caring in gachas because, you know, it's so normal for gachas to do that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, for other people, you know, it might be an issue. It is kind of an issue. In Zenless, they're doing that a bit less because, you know, they're doing more. Sometimes they show you character stories in which, you know, the proxy, the player character that you choose at the beginning is not even there at all. Like, it's not. They're just doing their life somewhere else. They're not even relevant to what's going on to this other character. They kind of take the backseat a lot since, you know, they're mostly supposed to be like guides for all these characters that actually do the fighting. But yeah, I think that's the issue that people have with Firefly. As I like her because I'm used to getting character shove in the face because, you know, characters, I mean, gachas do that a lot. Like, you were talking about Fate. Like, Fate Granador has MASH. I love MASH. But, like, you kind of are forced to care about her. But yeah. That is the thing. That was the Firefly drama. In Genshin they do a lot. Like, you'll meet a character and then you'll have another character come and tell you their entire tragic backstory, and you'll be like, oh no. MASH was nuke for me to care for here. It took an anime movie for that. Understandable. Like, I understood, like, you know, even if I love MASH, I understood why it could get annoying. And yeah, you know, Firefly also opens up to you, like, very quickly. It makes sense later on because, you know, it's revealed that you were actually part of their team. So you were all buddies before you got, like, your memory wipe or something. I don't know why. I am not followed the story, so, like, I don't know details. I just know you were a part of that team. So, like, you know, you were already close before, which is, you know, then it makes sense that she was so willingly, so openly, so readily willing to open up about her illness and whatnot. But at the moment, it's like, you know, for someone that might not care for that kind of thing, or that might dislike that kind of thing, you know, it probably felt like, why is this random girl just telling me her entire tragic backstory? It's gonna smoke day today. It is, which is actually why I was late. But anyway, I've already been jabbing for an hour, guys. I wanted to jump into the game right off the bat, and I got distracted by talking about reading and story and stuff. Anyway, for my gachas, you know, aside from the ones I stream, I play Zenless. I play Zenless very actively. So if everyone wants to talk about Zenless during chatting sections, you know, that's okay. And Star Rail is kind of on the fence right now. You know, it is on thin ice. I did play Fate back in the day, but the farming also turned me off. I did really like the story though. Like, I got to the second Lost Belt or something like that. But, you know, I'm kind of familiar with it. Star on Notice, basically. Yeah, Star on Notice. I am playing Honkai Impact, as you guys know. I'm just being completely insane about it, and it's taking me forever because of it. But We will get there. We will get there. And Genshin, only Fontaine exists in Genshin for me. So yeah. If you like Fontaine, you're welcome. Thumbs up emoji. But anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get to the girls, to the front line of girls. Let's go. We gotta continue reading. People, yeah. There we go. I don't know why the D11 screen is apparently using a lot of resources and it lags my model. I don't think that happened with the other screens. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, let's continue because as I said, I don't really have as much time as yesterday today, so like I shouldn't. Saturdays are usually a good day to jab. Sundays, I mean also yes, but it leaves me less time for the actual game, so. Time to look a sweep and then read, exactly. Probably because I drank a coffee. Coffee always gets me yappy. But yeah, let's go. We're going to story node, so you know, more yapping, but now that I'll be reading. Catalyst. The dangers hidden in shadow are due to erupt. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to Dmitry also. 2 hours ago.
コーラップスクリスタル触媒装置の起動権限を異常し終えたぞ。
Oh, the match yesterday. Let's go. I need to raise affinity with Kluke to oath her. First.
承知いたしました。
全装置が予熱段階に。正気か。
はい。起動するか否か、いくつ起動するか、いつ起動するかは私が判断いたします。
ダメだ、危険すぎる。このエリアのクリスタル量からして放射線量が1万を超える。1万だぞ。レッドエリアに匹敵する数値だ。
回収並びに殺害任務は確実に遂行しなくてはなりません。これは至上命令です。臨界点を迎えるまでにチップの奪還や調査隊と404の殲滅ができなかった場合、保険を使用します。
放射線量の急激な変化は管制部門にバレる。俺たちの安全はどうなる。
There we go. Sorry, my audio thing abruptly closed, as it happens sometimes. But now we're back. But yeah, I did see the tweet about this 11. I'm like, suspicious. Suspicious that they will just randomly post about the D11 now. Because, you know, I'm not a gun expert, but as far as I know, the D11 is kind of a rare thing. So I'm like, why are you just randomly posting about it? What also kind of took me out was like a bunch of people seriously being like, "Oh, when are you selling to civilians?" And I'm like, "What the fuck would you want that D11?" Like a real working one. Yeah, it was supposed to be like a prototype thing, but that never actually got many copies made. I remember I read about that. So that's why I'm like, why are they just randomly posting about this exactly now? Strange. Sus. But yeah, what were we saying? Oh yeah, that she's gonna activate the thing. Our rotation spike like that will draw the attention of the oversight department. We might be in danger too.
でしたら、プラン発動までに任務を遂行してください。
Then make sure you succeed so that there is no need to activate the failsafe. I think sending the gun to the public will be hilarious since it uses a caseless ammo that no one makes. True. I wouldn't want to maintain a D11 that's a goddamn clock. You talk like it's so easy.
ご存知だとは思いますが、今回の指揮権は私にあります。
I believe FABN should have told you that I am in command of this operation.
命令に背くのであれば、即刻排除します。
If you will not obey orders,
あ
then
な
I
た
will
一
have
人が
you
消えたと
replaced
ころ
by
で、
someone who will.
計画に支障はございません。
The plan will not be meaningfully impacted by the loss of one person.
前回はあなたの判断ミスで調査隊を殲滅する好機を逃したばかりか。ブージャムと何度も遭遇していながら目標の回収は失
Also,
敗に終
your
わりま
previous
した。
misjudgment led to us missing the best opportunity to wipe out the Sober Corps detachment in one fell swoop. You were also unable to recover the objective beforehand during your previous encounters with the Bujim. Though she's pretty vicious, she is. That Bujim moves fast and it has a wide range. We pursued for nearly 300 kilometers. The Mangi security officer feels a twinge of pain in his head as he thinks about the 2+ weeks he and his men have spent chasing the Bujim. It was as though the thing was intelligent, intentionally avoiding his forces and circling around them. But then it also destroyed everything it saw like a mindless beast. We also split our forces to dismantle the base station and eliminate any barriers and bounty hunters we found. And then we also encountered the Sorby Corps reinforcements after that. They had a good commander with them. He could have taken us out.
言い訳は結構。役目を果たせない人間はグループに必要ありません。
Except Faven will not tolerate mistakes, or the people who make them. Why you? Pardon me. After realizing how dangerous his position is, the Mangi security officer gives up on trying to defend himself.
調査隊の動向は把握しましたか？
Have you found the targets yet?
404とヤホダラ山の岩塩湖跡地に
The Story Corps and 404 are hiding in the disused Yahodna salt mine.
追跡チームによれば負傷したブージャムもそこにいる可能性が高い。
According to the reports from the team sent to pursue the Bujum, the wounded creature is probably hiding there too.
あの行動を封鎖するだけで奴らを一網打尽にできる。
If we can lock the area down, we can trap them in there and take them all out at once.
推定所要時間は
How long will that take?
少なくとも3日だ。
3 days at least.
ヤホドナ岩塩湖は広い。
The interior of the Yahodna mine is quite large, and we haven't surveyed it again after planting the collapsed crystals there,
地形の把握に
so we don't know the interior layout well. Considering it was most likely made from Nikola and his boys had barely carried out his will or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And like, probably like something remained there. I'm trying to imagine Blue Sphere, Sextans, and Darto in a room trying to work together, and it's not going well. Yeah, I'm like, they don't make. I don't have the. I get the feeling they don't make a great team, which probably explains why they're usually working on their own thing separately.
それに敵が内部のどこにいるかもわからない。
Also, they could be anywhere inside there.
それなりの
We need
時間
time to
が
find
いる
and kill them.
それでは遅すぎます。
That's too slow.
ロレンの援軍が到着すればこちらは撤退せざるを得な
Once
い
the
でしょう。
URNC survey corps informants arrive, you will cease operations and leave ASAP.
そうなればここを彼らが立ち入ることの
When
で
that
きないデ
happens,
ッドゾーンに
this
しな
place will
くて
become
は
a dead zone that even they won't be able to
彼ら
enter.
による影響をなくせば
By
目
eliminating
標
them,
回
we
収
will
のた
have
め
more
の時
time
間
to
を
record
稼
the
ぐこと
mission
ができま
objective.
す。
本当にあの手を使うのか。
Are you really going to use that plan?
それはまだわかりません。
I might not have to.
もし彼らが一箇所に集まっていてその位置を特定できた場合はどうなりますか？
Tell me. They will gather up and I could find their location. How long will it take you to deal with them?
戦力差を考慮すれば半日だ。
Given the difference in our numbers and equipment, it would only take half a day.
調査隊の戦力は残りわずか。
The survey corps was fairly under strength to begin with, and that Podium is already heavily wounded. If we can find it, we can clear it quickly.
厄介なのはあの人形どもだ。
The problem is those 4
さえい
dolls.
なければ
We would have eliminated the survey corps already during that battle if it wasn't for them.
4体の人形は私が対処します。
I will take care
あ
of
な
those
た方は
dolls.
調査隊とブージャムに専念してください。
Focus on dealing with the survey corps and the Podium.
それはいいがどうするつもりだ。
That works for me. How are you going to deal with those dolls?
考えがあります。
I have my ways.
私が到着するまでに岩塩湖周辺の地形を把握し
Secure the
す
south
べて
line
の
and
入り
its
口に
surroundings
兵を
before I
配置
arrive.
してください。
Every exit must be watched.
彼らがその場を離れようとした場合を除き私の命令があるまで動い
Unless
て
they
はなり
attempt to
ません。
escape, you are not to engage them without orders from me.
わかった。
ところで分散した調査隊員は見つかり
Also,
ましたか？
have you found the survey corps members who split out from the main body?
ほとんどはな。
Pretty much.
ほとんど
Pretty
一
much.
人残らず殲滅しろと申し上げたはずですが
I believe I already told you to get rid of them before I arrive. Have to laugh at chasing the Podium 300 kilometers since that'd be like half the distance of Ukraine east to west. I mean, yeah, that is a long chase. Lucifer isn't angry, but the coldness in her voice is more terrifying than mere anger.
いや、全員見つけたさ。
We found them all.
組だけ残ってはいる。
It's just that there's one more squad that we haven't eliminated yet. I've sent my guys over.
速やかに対処願います。
Good. Pick up the pace. But yeah, they probably, it probably wasn't like in a straight line. It probably wasn't like actually distance. As in like how much distance they covered, or like how much distance they ran after it. Lucifer hangs up, and then she picks up the call from Cocoon. Oh, I'll just bitch again. Are you there yet?
およそ1時間30分後に到着する予定です。
I'll reach there in another hour and a half.
ならよかった。
Good.
ロレンの援軍があと1日で到着するそうだけど、間に合
I
うか
want to
しら。
confirm something with you. The URC reinforcements will arrive in around a day's time. Will you make it in time?
問題ありません。
At the moment, yes.
今回ヤホドナ外縁港
However,
の触媒装置を起動す
I
る
need
必
to
要がご
activate
ざ
the
います。
Yahodna Mines catalyzers.
他の装置を起動するか否かは作戦の結果次
As
第
for
です。
the other catalyzers, that will depend on the outcome of this operation.
決定権はあなたにあるんだもの。
That's fine.
どう使うか
The
は
sword
任
is
せ
in
る
your
わ。
hands, Blue Sphere. How to swing it is up to you.
でもね、
However, Cocoon pauses for a moment and her voice grows cold.
剣闘士が負けたら、賭けに興じるおじさま方は
If a gladiator does
お
not
怒りに
win,
なるでしょうね。
she will incur the wrath of her sponsors.
初めに伝えたわよね。
Also, don't forget that we received explicit instructions.
任務を達成したとは
The
言えないわ。
evidence was recovered for the mission to be considered complete.
彼らを駆除するだけじゃダメ。
Just eliminating the personnel is nowhere near enough.
承知しております。
Understood.
そう。それじゃ
In that
あな
case,
たの成功を祈ってる
all the
わ。
best in your mission, Blue Sphere. I look forward to your triumphant return. Sheesh! Thermal conduction. You pass on the firelight through inevitable destruction. Dmitry and 404 return to the mine entrance, where he shares what he's found with the other men. After hearing what happened to the deceased and about mining security's arrangement with Paradeus, just about everyone present is filled with anger.
こんなところでじっとしてられっか。
We can't die here.
あ
Oh, the
あ、俺た
music!
ちはたった今最も重要な情報をつかんだ。
Yep. Right now, all of us have critical information.
こいつは仲間の血と引き換えに手に入れたんだ。
This information was won by the sweat and toil of our brothers, and they gave their lives to bring it to us. So we have to make sure we carry their voices out of this godforsaken place.
あいつらをこの世界を踏みにじったクソ野郎どもに
And the people who killed them,
目に物を見
who are
せてやろ
harming
うじゃ
this
ねえか。
world even now, must be punished for what they've done.
その通りです。目に物見せてやりましょう。
Damn straight, we'll show them.
そうだそうだ。総長、命令を。
That's right, just give it the word, Sarge.
これからどうする？
What will we do now?
これよりコードネームのろし作戦について
Listen
説明
up.
する。
Our upcoming operation is codenamed Smoke Signal.
今後は数チームに分かれて行動する。詳細は全員の端末に送っておいた。
After this, we'll be breaking up into groups,
定めら
then
れたルートを
scattering.
出発しろ。
I've sent the details to your terminals. Proceed along the indicated routes.
たった一人でもいい。誰かが生きてここを出て基地局にたどり着くさえすれば、俺
If
たち
just
と
one of us gets out of here or finds a usable base station, we win.
作戦成功が最優先だ。仲間が倒れても振り返るな。
Don't worry about the people behind you. The path ahead will be much harder.
お前たちを部下に持ったことを俺は誇りに思う。
I am proud to have served with men like you.
いいか、最後の最後まで生きることを諦めるな。
Remember,
そ
everyone,
の命を、その信念を貫い
achieve
てや
your
れ。
mission with all your might. Despair not till your last breath. Don't let go of your lives or your beliefs. Oh no, he's getting the inspirational speech. He's so dead. The men are fired up by Dmitry's speech and eagerly begin gearing up. Meanwhile, Dmitry heads over to 404. For once, he doesn't look annoyed or disdainful. Instead, he hands the box containing the chip and the recorder to Kluke.
チップは404が持ってろ。
Take care of this, 404. I'll arrange for my best guys to go with you. Oh my god, he's giving it to 404. He's so dead. No, Dmitry, you don't deserve this.
私たちが
You want us to hold into this?
ああ調査隊はすでに限界だ奇襲でも仕掛けない限りマグリと戦っても勝ち
Right now, the Sorry Corps is low on men and ammo. We won't be able to take those mangy bastards on in a straight fight. We'll need to find some way to ambush or surprise them.
お前らに託すのがベストだと判断したんだ
That's why I think giving the chip and recorder to you is the best course of action. Kluge hesitates for a moment, then accepts the box.
了解
ここは放射線まみれだ
This place is heavily irradiated, and a collapse of storm could occur at any time.
もしも
Plus, those fuckers are bound to launch an attack. So if... And I'm saying if... Dmitry lowers his voice.
同行する人間が死んだりしんがりを務める状況になったとしても気にするなチップを守り抜くことだけを考えろ
If the guys with you get hurt or killed, or if they stay behind to guard your escape, don't worry too much about them. Get the chip out of here. That's your top priority.
ディミトリーさんは一緒に来ないんですか
You mean you're not going with us, Mr. Dmitry?
俺か行くわけねえだろ
Me? Hell no.
残った仲間たちと白星を挙げに行かねえとな
I gotta lead my boys to victory, right? I mean, there's no point in the boss being on the battlefield if he doesn't do shit.
ですが
If you trip too many dead flags, you overflow them and are safe instead. Oh, so that's what he's trying to do, I see, I understand. But
勝利は万に一つもないのよ
you have no chance of winning.
来るかいそんな風に言わなくても
You didn't have to be so... Dmitry doesn't flare up like usual when hearing Kulukai's flat denial. Instead, he laughs.
だからガラクタどもにはわからねえっつってんだろ
Like I said, you tin cans don't know shit.
人間が綺麗事だけ聞きたいバカだと思ったら大間違いだ
You think humans are dumb bastards that only listen to what they want to hear?
何が言いたいの
What do you mean?
ここにいる誰もがそれこそ新兵ですら生還できる可能性がないに等しいのは分かっているたとえ援軍が今現れたとしても連絡がつかないんじゃどうしようも
All
な
of
い
us here, down to the Salagas who just enlisted, we all know the odds of making it alive are slim. Hell, and if the reinforcements from the Sorry Corps show up right now, we won't be able to contact them to get help either. Is just Mirror Dimitri's nicer to Andoris? Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, yeah, Andoris is nice. You know, Andoris has been very nice and polite to him. He'd have his mean moments. Also, you know, when Andoris was being like pretty, like getting pretty like, oh, you know, in the cave, when she was like, oh, you know, I think it's beautiful, like blah 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 blah, and he still was like, who cares? Like, he still was like, you know, like who the fuck cares about that? But yeah, he doesn't butt heads with Andoris so much because, you know, Cool K is the one throwing comments like those. But also, you know, as Leva said, the thing is also that I feel like Kluke makes everyone look better by comparison. Also, yes. You know, Kluke isn't saying that to be mean. She says things in a mean way, but she doesn't say it to be used to be contrarian, you know, or to be a bitch or whatever. But as you know, as Dmitry's saying here, it's like, we know the chances are slim, but we're still gonna try. But she's just so fact focused, especially with others. That's the funny thing, because she's like that with others, but then she'll go and do like dumb shit herself, and it's like, bro. But it's like, yeah, you know, by when she says like you're not gonna survive, you know, you're not gonna make it. She's not saying it to like look down on them or be like, you know, insult them. She genuinely, logically, you know, that is her logical conclusion. And she has no filter to say those things, or she will just come out and say it. And it's like, no, you don't have to be like that. She's not malicious, she's just being logical, exactly. Yeah, you know, yeah, that's the thing. Like, she's not a bitch for being a bitch, as in like, you know, she'll just say things to be malicious, to be contrarian, to get on people's nerves, or to get people angry, or to look down on people. She used to look down on people a lot, but she doesn't do it anymore. I mean, not to the same extent. But you know, right now she's just being logical, and she's like, you're not gonna make it. And you say, I mean, Dmitry is like, you wouldn't get it. Dmitry's just here like, you don't understand the indomitable will of the human spirit.
通信障害にマグニが一枚噛んでるのは確実だ。臨時基地局を立てに行った連中も
I'm pretty damn sure those magicans are jamming our signals. And nobody knows how many of our boys who went out to set up base stations are still alive either. That's the other thing. I guess the way in that she still kinda also unconsciously looks down at people is that, you know, when Dmitry puts out all this plan, you know, Kluki comes out and says that because she thinks he's not thinking things through. And no, he is. He's very well aware. Trust me.
基地局を探すにせよ、この荒野を出て上層に報告するにせよ、俺たちの任務はただ一つ。お前たち本命部隊への攻撃をそらすことだ。
Here, I've seen the odds for playing to our outfit. I'm gonna tell me. Yeah, exactly. You know, he's like, he knows. She's just, you know, she's just so logical to a fault that she doesn't get that he knows. But like, you know, they're still gonna do it. There is a reason he gave them the chip to safekeep, you know? The difference between intelligence and wisdom in D&D, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I feel like the fact that he gave them the chip to safekeep already says a lot on how he thinks things are gonna end for him. And there is, you know, between soldiers, humans, people that kind of get that. There is no need to say it out loud. But again, going back to Leva's words, when she told Klukai that she really doesn't understand humans, Here you can see it very clearly. And like, I haven't even read his backstory yet. I unlocked the things, but I forgot to read it. But the fact, you know, just by the story itself, you can see that, you know, he doesn't really trust dolls. He doesn't believe they're capable of the same things. You know, he recognizes their strength, but you know, he's like, they're not like soldiers, you know. He doesn't recognize them as like people, whatever. He doesn't trust them. You can tell just by context, usually you're reading the main story, without having to know his backstory. So you know, that is why this moment is so meaningful, because he's like, oh fuck, he's giving the chip to them. She got stuck in a ventilation duct because running when and has never emotionally recovered. Also true. I'm pretty damn sure those mangy cons are jamming our signals, and nobody knows how many of our boys who went out to set base station are still alive either. So yeah, rather than hope we find a base station or that we can make it out into the open to contact the brass, I'd rather place my bets on your team while we do our best to ease the pressure. If you make it out, it'll be worth it. If we survive, that's the cherry on top.
お前らがチップを持ち帰ることができれば、俺たちは勝つ。
Remember, if you get that chip out, we win.
でも人形と違って本当に死んじゃうんだよ。
But you're really going to die, you know? It's not like with dolls. See, she doesn't get it either. Even M4 lost to KCC officer when she got him cornered. Yeah. You might some predictability is what some of them can account for. Exactly. And the thing is also, you know, KCC also was... They went in knowing they will need to fight dolls. And they prepared for that. You know, so they prepared countermeasures to fight dolls. And it worked. To be fair, G28 was always kind of ditzy, yeah. Human sheer determination and grit always win, hell yeah. Damn, you mean planning and forethought can have effects? Yeah, I swear, I promise.
死にたいやつなんざ一人もいねえさ。
Shit, you think we don't want to live?
だが、命を張らなきゃなんねえ時に、
But you know what?
縮こまるやつもいねえ。
When the time comes, we'll make our deaths count. None of us is going to back down from that.
俺たちの死がクソどもの土産話になるのだけは許せねえがな。
The important thing is that when we die, it won't be a joke those fuckers will share over tea and biscuits.
何グズグズしてる？機械は機械だ。
Oh, what the hell are you grinding your gears about?
クソの役にも
I guess tin cans will be tin cans after all. Not like it do you any good to understand it anyway.
命令通りチップを持ち帰ればそれでいい。
Just follow your orders and get the chip out.
お前らには関係ねえさ。
Don't worry about what happens to us.
わかったわ。
After seeing Cloak had put the box away, Dmitry nods in satisfaction and heads back to his men.
全員聞け。30分後に作戦開始だ。
Listen up, we're out in half an hour.
この作戦に失敗は許されない。
Failure is not an option for this mission. Got that?
了解。
Oh, sudden alarm breaking the IP music. Yuki thinks that dolls easily reset, but humans have only one life, so she accepts death for the mission. That's why she doesn't understand human thoughts. I wouldn't say it's like that. I think it's more of a. I think it's more of the opposite. You know, she's like, you only have the one life, so why would you risk so much instead of going for in case of trying to look for a safer option when there's no real safer options at this moment. Her bitterness comes from a place of genuine concern. Yeah, exactly. You know, as I was saying, when she said like you're not gonna survive, she didn't say that to be mean. Is because it's like, yeah, you know, that is. We all know. We here are like, oh, they're all gonna die, aren't they? We know how this goes, and she also knows how this goes. But the thing that she doesn't get, as I was saying, is that, yeah, they also know. They're still gonna do it and try their best to survive. Humans face unbeatable odds. The desire to go out in a blaze of glory intensifies. Yeah, that's the part that she doesn't get. Because even, you know, now they don't really suffer this issue that much anymore, but what maybe some newer people might not know, is that Kluke is used to fighting with the same odds as humans, more or less. Because, you know, for a long time, 404 couldn't really afford like proper backups or proper extra frames for their bodies. Because they're illegal dolls, so it was not as easy for them as it was for like Griffin dolls. So, you know, they still always fought with the mentality of no casualties. Unlike other dolls that are like, you know, I'm gonna go in a blaze of glory. Remember me, like, you know, tell me about it afterwards. You know, your memories will live through someone else that survives. But then, no, they'll be back. 404 usually operated under the, you know, 404 usually operated under the pressure of we can't afford casualties. First 16 understands that for emails, she was trying to find a way to save everyone and complete the mission. Yeah, exactly. Extra frames more like they didn't have a server for backups. Yeah, right. They didn't even have backups, did they? Yeah, because that one time when 9 went boom, she sent her backup to 45. And like at that very moment. So yeah, as I said, right now they might not have that issue anymore. But as I say, they're used to the mentality, and I think that's also what what affects her mentality. You know, because for so long they operated under like no casualties. Yeah, also that, yeah, she's thinking along the line of Dmitry's plan will lead to a tactical victory when they will lead to a strategic victory. Yeah, she's also more focused on like actual, like more tangible tactical victory. You know, a victory, a mission complete in which everyone survives. So, you know, sacrificing yourself for a strategy does not really align well for her that much, but she understands it. Why does she understand it? Because she has done so. She literally did it. She literally did that 10 years ago. She sacrificed herself to get intelligence that could end up bringing victory to the rest of the team and the commander. And you can say, oh, but she's adult. But like, yeah, but she... At this moment in Girl Frontline 1, you know, the story, she is pretty much dead. She's out of commission. She can't be repaired. She can't be brought back. Her body's fine, but she just can't be reactivated. So, you know, she's effectively gone. So it's like, yeah, she understands that kind of thing. And you know, and that at that point she very much did so because she was like, I am the leader. It is my responsibility. It is my duty to take the fall so my team can survive. So my team can keep going towards victory, you know? She had very much this mentality of it is the responsibility of the leader to take on this kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure she understands. As you guys are saying, it's like, yeah, the thing is that she shows it. She shows it in the worst way possible, but she does care about people's well-being. So it's like, you know, she says that in hopes of stopping them and being like, oh yeah, you're right, how can we do this so we don't die? But it's like, no, they already made peace with it. And that is what she doesn't kind of get, you know, because she's more logical on that end. It's like, why wouldn't they want to survive? And it's like, yeah, they want to. It's just like, you know, sometimes, as Dmitry said, the most important thing at this moment is that that tip makes it out, and that information can make it out. This is why I love Girls Frontline, you know, character analysis. Oh, I love it. As the soldiers shout their ascent, a deafening alarm fills the air, and every man's collapse radiation detector glows with an ominous red light.
放射線量が急上昇しています。
Radiation levels rising rapidly.
今度は何だ
What the fuck is it now?
サイン防護服を確認しろ
Everyone, check the seals on your suits.
コーラプス粒子の流れから 90% 以上が坑道内から流出したものと推測。
Given the movement of the collapse particles, over 90% of them are coming from inside the mine.
ディミトリー、今すぐ脱出して。
Dmitry, you need to get out of here now. See?
そうだな総員に次ぐこれより
Now hear this.
作戦を開始する
Operation Smoke Signal begins now.
各隊はそれぞれのルートから出発しろ
All groups, move as planned. Keep your unit comms clear. And once you leave the comms branch, group leaders are in charge.
404をはじめとする本命部隊は待機時間を10分まで短縮
404, as the core team, you leave within 10 minutes.
404チップを絶対に守り抜け
Make sure you keep the chip safe, 404.
言われるまでもない。
Of course we will. However, just as everyone finishes their gear checks and prepares to leave, shadows in the night pour in and surround them. Their twisted bodies and savage mouths are made even more fearsome by the encirclement.
なんでこんなに生き袋が
Where did all these elites come from?
多分大量の放射線に引き寄せられたんだと思う。
They were probably drawn here by the high levels of collapse radiation.
ディミトリ、後ろに下がって援護をお願い。
Dmitry, take your men and pull back so you can support us.
404、戦闘準備。生き袋を迎撃するわ。
404, prepare for battle and get ready to intercept these elites. Yo, that phrase Dmitry said, accomplish your mission with all your might, spare not till your last breath. Make your death count. That was so epic. No, I can't go farther in. Such. How is she going over air with the bike? Don't ask questions. Considering the setup, I was sort of expecting the mission to be survive for 6 rounds and contact waves of bellies spawning in. Yeah, they don't really line up the objectives, the map objectives that well. Is there a way in which I can I forgot about that guy. Well, it's fine. Firefly and the Sorry Corps put up valiant resistance, but in the end they are forced to beat a fighting retreat into the depths of the mine. Thanks to 404's supporting fire, the elites in the mine tunnels are temporarily cleared away, but they can still hear the howling of elite hordes some distance away. They take advantage of this brief respite to rest and reload. Is this an elite factory or something? The spawn rate is way too high. They just keep coming, big and small, in one continuous wave. My guess is the nearby elites were all drawn in. We may have cleared out the ones around here, but judging by their auto signatures, there are many elites near the mine entrance, so we can't escape that way. But if we continue staying here, we'll have to contend with the rising radiation levels inside the mine tunnels. What's the collapse particle situation like? Their spread rate is influenced by the wind.
and it's continuing at its original rate.
おかしいよ。粒子は拡散してるのに
The strange
放
thing
射線量
is,
が下がらない。
the radiation intensity isn't dropping with the spread distance, which means
粒子の総量が増えてるんだわ。
the total amount of radiation is increasing.
増えてる？何それ？
Increasing?
粒子って自分で増殖で
No
きる
way!
の？
Are the collapse particles generating themselves or something?
来るかい隊長。
And Doris does not use her vocalizer models for this. Instead, she requests communication with Klukai on level 2. She looks worriedly at the nearby soldiers from the Survey Corps. They've lost even more people during the fighting just now. After realizing what Doris has in mind, Klukai switches to level 2 comms as well.
何？調査隊たちの防護服、さっきの戦いでかなり損傷してる。
Their protective suits have been compromised during the fighting just now, and we don't have enough material to patch or replace any breaches in the seals.
このまま放射線量が増え続ければ、彼らも長くは持たない。
If their radiation intensity keeps going up, they might have a hard time going on.
わかった。臨界値まであとどれくらい？
Got it. How much longer till radiation intensity reaches critical values?
拡散速度が変わらなければ、もって2時間。
If the corpse spread rate and intensity optic remain constant, about 2 hours. Damn, that's not a long time.
ミスティと美容家を連れて、周辺の偵察と生き袋の殲滅に向かわせて。
Take you two of them and keep watching nearby. Get as much information on the surrounding conditions as possible, and thin out the number of elves nearby.
わかった。
After ending the transmission, Klukai heads over to the Survey Corps troopers. Most of them are hurt. Their blood and the mud from their journey have mixed and dulled to a dark brown, which stains their ragged protective suits. Dmitry, who stands at their head, has just finished encouraging his men. He is sitting against a rock wall, and the soldiers he spoke to earlier are gone.
ディミトリー、そっちは？
Dmitry, you...
生きてるやつは無事だ。死んじまったやつは心配いらねえ。
Everyone who's alive is fine. Everyone who's dead won't have any more problems.
放射線量が増えてる。ここにはもういられないわ。
The radiation levels are rising. We can't stay here for long.
わかってる。だが少し兵を休ませたい。
I know that. Give my blood bell some time to catch your breath. He pauses, and then his gaze settles on the radiation sensor Klukai is holding.
時間はどれくらい残ってる？
How much time do we have left?
2時間。
2 hours.
よし。2時間だな。
Right. 2 hours. Dmitry falls silent. He looks at his men sitting in a group, and he seems to be thinking about something. Perhaps he's running low on stamina, but his clenched face is trembling slightly. However, he's doing his best to keep his face calm and steady.
俺たちは。
Suddenly, there's a violent shaking. Salt particles from the rock wall scatter like powdery snow. Dmitry stops talking and springs to his feet from where he's leaning against the tunnel wall.
地震か？
Was there an earthquake? Not far away, and Doris, who has been assigned to sentry duty, runs back while trying to keep her balance.
来るかい隊長。爆発が起きた。
There was an explosion.
爆発だ。
An explosion?
どうなってるの？
What happened?
原因はわからないけど、療養施設
I'm
に
not
使
sure
わ
of
れ
the
てい
exact
たガスパイ
reason,
プが
but
一部
part of
破
those
損
pipes
して
in
る。
the walls, the ones built to supply the sanatorium with natural gas, appear to have ruptured.
多分パイプに残っていたガスが生き袋に破壊されたせいで爆発
It is
したんだ
very
と思う。
likely that pipes in other areas contain compressed gas that wasn't cleared. The elites broke the pipes, causing the gas to leak, which led to an explosion.
ガス爆発？この揺れ、明らかに一
A
箇所だけ
gas
じゃない
leak?
わ。
A single explosion couldn't have created an impact like that.
そうだね。数箇所で一斉に爆発したのかも。
Perhaps there were multiple
とにかく
explosions at once.
爆心地を調べないと。
We'll need to investigate the blast site to learn the exact reason.
一難去ってまた一難ってか。
It never rains, but it damn well powers, doesn't it? And Doris approaches the two of them and glances at her sensor.
災難だとは限りませんよ、ディミトリーさん。
Well, it's not entirely bad, Mr. Dmitry.
こんな時に何の冗談だ。
Do you even know the situation right now? I'm not in the mood for jokes.
冗談なんかじゃありません。
This is no joke.
Andres projects the data from the sensor.
爆発で崩落が起こったのか、坑道内の風速が減少しています。
The wind speed within
コー
the
ラプ
tunnels
ス
has
粒子の
slowed
拡散
down,
速度も
possibly
だいぶ
because the
落ちてきま
explosions
した
trigger a collapse inside them. As a result, the collapsed particles' rate of spread has slowed considerably.
これなら息袋を処理してから脱出しても間に合います。
This way, we'll have more time to clear
ど
the
うに
alleys
かして
before we
防
leave.
護服を修理しないといけませんが、
Of course, we'll need to think of a way to patch up your suits first.
実はさっきから考えていたんです。
The
こ
truth
この
is,
療養
I
施
was
設
just
は
thinking,
昔随分と賑わっていましたし、
the sanatorium inside the
ユナイ
Yehodna
タスも
salt mines
ここで
must have been
活動してい
flourishing
ました。
once.
もしかしたら
In addition,
物資が残っている
Radios
かもしれま
unitates
せ
were
ん。
active in this region. Perhaps there were some supplies left behind?
Dmitry realizes he was wrong about Andores and licks his lower lip awkwardly before clearing his throat.
ああ、確かに。
You're right.
まあ、あれだ。
What I meant to say was,
正確に分析しやがってって
Udors are always able to analyze things so clearly regardless of the current situation.
アルゴリズムに従うだけのガラクタですから。
Well, that's because we're machines that can only run on algorithms, after all.
Dmitry sighs in relief after hearing the good news. He scratches his head in embarrassment, and his spirits seem to have lifted a little.
だったら洞窟内の探索を優先
Andores
するべ
melts
きだな。
hearts.
次の手を
Yes.
考えつつ
A
使えそうな物資を
compliment?
探
No
す。
way. So, next up, we should go investigate what's going on in the tunnels and come up with the next step of the plan, while looking for usable supplies.
そうね。ただ放射線量は依然として高いままよ。
That's right.
あんたたちの防護服じゃ
However,
防
the
ぎきれ
radiation
ないエ
levels
リ
in
ア
the
もある
tunnel
わ
are still very high, as certain regions might exceed your suit tolerances.
リスクがないとは言えないけど、人形なら放射線量1万まで耐えられる。
In contrast, while widows do face a certain degree of risk from high radiation levels, we can still move freely until the radiation intensity reaches 10,000 baryons.
Klukai doesn't directly state her desired conclusion, but Dmitry looks away and lowers his voice.
俺たちはここに残る。捜索は任せた。
If we'll stay here, you can handle the scouting.
息袋の襲撃に備えて人形をここに一人置いていくわ。
The alleys in the tunnels haven't been cleared yet. Should I station a adult here to help out?
いやいい。防護服が破れただけだ。自分の肉体守れ。
Nah, it's only your suits which are damaged. Besides, we've got our guns and our bayonets. We can hold out for a bit.
了解。アンドレス、ミスティと美容家を呼んで坑道内を
Andores,
くまなく探
contact
すわよ。
Belk and Meshti. Get them to gather up. We'll be exploring the tunnels.
了解です。
They're getting along? Sort of.
404を敵に回したのが運の尽きよ。
Oh, that reminds me, I have 10 of those. I should go put on the standard banner. Nothing, I think. Oh well.
指揮官、いいところに来てくれましたね。疲れてるように見
Oh, I have Woohoo!
ちょっと
I probably have a few more of them that I haven't checked, yeah.
巨翼を持つ鳥の群れ。
Alright. I had a few that I hadn't checked. Oh damn, 90. Woohoo! Alright. Cardboard still? Yes. Story dolls, get the cardboard. Alright, let's go back now. Woohoo, more reading. Secondary perforation. When the negotiations broke down once again, everything was already irreversible. Damn, okay. Hello, Jared. 404 leaves. Dmitry rubbed his forehead and glances over at his surviving men, who are huddled together and discussing something quietly. There is barely concealed worry and fear in their eyes. Chin up, lads. We'll be disgraced if we humans give up before dolls, yeah? We need to leave for the sake of our fallen brother. Their families are waiting for news, and we need to take care of them too. Sarge, actually, we... Hey, hold on a minute! Look, guys! A signal! It's a signal! The trooper holding his terminal is so delighted that his voice is trembling, and he's on the verge of tears. He eagerly points to the monitor of his communicator. I was just thinking, maybe we could go check. The guys who went to set up the base station might still be alive, so... We're saved! We're saved, aren't we? Oh no, he's gonna get his hopes crushed. The troopers seem to have been driven nearly mad by the possibility of survival. They all crowd around, seemingly forgetting that they have terminals of their own. No, that's not right. This signal isn't on our line, is it? Who the fuck cares? If there's a signal, it means we can contact the outside world. Didn't Serge say that backup could be arriving soon? Once we meet up with them, we won't need to fear for Magir Paradeus or whatever. Calm down. This might be an enemy trap. Will be revealed if we respond and establish a two-way communication link. But we can't just give up on that, right? I haven't seen my boy in half a year, Sarge. Just as Dmitry stormed between what to do next, the terminal which received the signal picks up an unfamiliar comms request. 5 seconds pass, but the request to pick up is still going. The monotonous dial tone echoes in the cavern, while the communication terminal's notification light keeps flashing. After thinking for a moment, Dmitry presses a few buttons on the terminal and silently shares the transmission with 404 through the regional comm frequency. After that, he hits a sec button. The communication link is successfully established, and an inorganic voice speaks over the line. Atmosphere. You're so dead.
Greetings, First Sergeant Dmitry.
Who's this? Dmitry hears a beep, indicating that the transmission has been successfully shared with 404.
私はマグニセキュリティを指揮する人形です。ブル アとお呼びください。
I am the doll in command of the Mangi Security Detachment. You may address me as Blue Sphere. Dmitry's face twists into savagery as he hears the other person identify herself. He takes a deep breath, trying to speak as calmly as possible.
何の用だ
What the hell do you want?
投降してはいただけませんか？
I would like to request your surrender.
くたばれこのクソが
Whatever he says, anyone knows Russian? Go for it. What does Google Translate tells me, I wonder. Let's see. Fuck your mom, I literally. Wonderful. Oh yeah. According to Google, the literal translation will be I fuck your mother, bitch. Classic. Classic. That is actually what he said in CN2. Let's go. Wonderful.
落ち着いてください、ディミトリー総長。
I believe you should calm yourself, your Sergeant Dmitry.
口論は時間を無駄にするだけです。そして、あなた方に残された
Arguing
時
will
間は
only
ごくわ
waste
ず
time,
か。
which is something you do not have.
それに、
In addition, Lucifer pauses for a moment.
これは我々のネットワークです。あなた方は使
The
用
network
権
you
限
are
を与
currently
えられた
using
に過ぎ
is
ませ
under
ん。
my control. Your communications are severely restricted and only effective within a limited range.
先ほど通信ジャミングを確認。そして404からの
I
呼び
have
出
just
しを遮
detected an
断しま
attempt
した。
to jam the transmission
ブレーキは
and
間に合い
intercepted an attempt from 404 to call for help. I trust this will be the last time you attempt such actions.
聞こえていますね。ディミトリー総長と通信を共有する416のスティグマを持ったお人形さん。
Isn't that right, your Sergeant Dmitry, who has shared this call with 404 and the doll imprinted to the 416 firearm, who attempted to call for help?
Damn. Well, how do you have all that information? But yeah, I love that. I mean, they put it in Russian there, which I also love. I love when they do that. But I also love that they're in Frontline 2, since they upped the rating, they can just straight up use more coarse language, which is like, I don't think coarse language is something needed in stories, but I feel like it really fits the setting, since, you know, military and war and whatnot. So like I really like that they're able to do it more freely now. Also, it makes some very funny phrases.
放射線のシャワーを楽しみたいのなら話は別ですが。
Unless, of course, you want the radiation levels to rise more quickly.
やっぱりあんたたちの仕業ね。
So all that was your doing.
もっと穏便に事を運びたかったのですが。
He says Lavi would be stranger if he didn't swear.
あなた方の行動には驚きました。
It fits some characters, not all just
実を
they
言う
just need
と
to use it right.
こ
Need
ち
to use
ら
it
の
right.
任務が一
Yeah.
分化妨げられてい
Was
た
that I said I don't think like a story requires like coursing to be considered like more quote unquote adult, but it really fits the setting, especially because they they do it pretty well, you know. Not all of them curse constantly, but you know, you have some characters that will, or some characters that will just kind of drop it at like very intense moments, and some other characters that just don't do it at all. and that's fine, you know. That's great. I love it.
I had hoped to deal with you in a more simple manner. That was merely because I had no other choice. In truth, the actions you took have exceeded my expectations and caused no small amount of disruption to the progress of my mission.
ここはお互い歩み寄ってはいかがでしょう。
Therefore, I was hoping we will make things easier for all of us.
歩み寄るだと。茶碗も大概にしろ。
Easier? Who the fuck do you think you're kidding?
そこで待ってろ。今にその首をへし折ってやる。
You better hide and pray I don't find your worthless ass.
そちらにとって正面衝突は最も避けたいでしょうに。
A head-on encounter is the worst-case scenario which your side needs to avoid at all costs. If things come to that, I am absolutely certain I can eliminate all of you.
I fully expect military guys to swear in every sentence, very on brand. Hell yeah. And like 416 is not cursing as much anymore. She used to curse way more. She's being more professional now.
行動の入り口もすべて爆破で塞がってい
Not
ます。
to like Dmitry levels, but like
退路はありません。
she I feel like she used to curse quite often when compared to other dolls that do it practically never. And of course, we have the iconic, who remembers Raw with her iconic "fuck the last of robotic."
The entrance to the mines have also been demolished. You have nowhere to run.
入り口を爆破？
You blew them up?
わざわざ爆薬を浪費するなんてご苦労様だこと。
Given the circumstances, that will only serve to waste ammunition and supplies.
言ったでしょ？穏便に済ませたいと。それなのに。
Like I
あ
said,
なた方は
I
突
would
拍
like
子
the
のない
situation to
動
be
きばかり
resolved
する。
quickly and expediently. Yet, you are constantly creating new complications for me.
私はハプニングを好みません。もちろん、
I dislike the unexpected, and so do my employers.
言いたいことがあるならさっさと言え。
Like now you can tell he's angry because he's actually cursing every sentence. Get to the fucking point and stop listening to the sound of your own voice.
こちらの目的は明白です。繰り返します。
I believe I have made my
投降して
objective
はい
very
ただけません
clear.
か？
I will repeat myself. I would like you to surrender.
ルージャムに取り付けた発信機が破壊されました。
The tracer we planted on the Virgin has been destroyed.
あれは討伐されたのでしょうか？
Since you are still alive, I take it you have already killed it.
私たちが欲しいのは、そちらが回収したチップと録音装置
Still,
です。
that is not important. I want what you have. If you hand over the chip and the recording device, you may state your terms.
死に腐ってろこのドサンピンが。
Fuck off and dream of electric sheep.
これにはな、てめえらの悪事が詰まってんだ。渡してたま
I
るか。
got the evidence of all your crimes right here. Like hell, I'm going to hand it over to you.
ディミトリー、元新ソ連軍軍人。当時の階級は準位。
Dmitry, former warrant officer of the NCU Armed Forces.
2064年、カーター将軍をはじめとした新ソ連軍の武闘派勢力失脚に伴い、南西方面陸軍へと左遷。
When General Carter's NCU hardliners lost power. As a member of said hardliners, you were transferred to the Southern Military District.
2067年、W2067-0341 浄化エリア。
In 2067, you were transferred to Purification Zone W2067-0341 as part of the 775th Railway Defense Forces.
2068年、 鎧角品横領により総長へと降格。
In 2068, you are demoted to first sergeant for retaining confiscated property without permission.
何のつもりだ。
What are you getting at? Yeah, we're doing the part where we tell you your entire backstory. I don't know what she's getting at. What are you trying to prove by telling him, you know, all this about him? Imagine for 16 dropping the fact that she was there to see it personally. It would be so funny. I kinda want her to do it.
あなたの経歴を洗いました。親友のニコライと比べて、あなたは起点が利く。
I have briefly summarized your background. You are a much more intelligent man in contrast to your comrade Nikolai.
私の要求に応じれば、あなたとその部下の命は保証しましょう。
If you agree to my request, I
ある
can
程
spare
度の自
you,
由は奪われます
and I
が、
can guarantee the survival of
命
your
を
man.
落とすよりはマシかと。
While your communications and personal freedom will be curtailed to some extent, it is preferable to death.
Let's really Google him, yeah. She's trying to find some dirt. She's trying to freak him out while playing. She knows all about him. Yeah, but she said like very mundane things. I mean, quote unquote mundane things. So I feel like Dmitry is the wrong person to try to intimidate with that. And yeah, mentioning Nikolai here is like, you should have not done that. Clearly, Blueberry, another doll that does not understand how humans work.
人間の命はたった一度だけ。慎重にお考えください。
Humans only have one life. I hope you will cherish yours. The hand Dmitry is holding the terminal with trembles.
10分以内にご返答願います。
Please give me
404
your
も同様
answer
です。
within 10 minutes. The same applies to hateful.
死の概念のない私たちにその条件を飲むメリットはないわ。
Death is not a concern for us. Your terms are invalid.
The guy's already content with dying. Doxing him ain't gonna change his mind. Yeah, exactly. Blueberry is very naive, like legit naive. All the third-gen dolls were born very recently, so they clearly don't know this. Yeah, clearly they haven't interacted with humans enough, other than the people in charge of them, which probably do not think like regular soldier level humans, you know?
あなた方には依頼内容変更の保証金として手厚い報酬をご用意しております。
We are willing to compensate you handsomely if you will amend the terms of your commission.
私の知る限り、404は非軍事勢力管理局の所属でありながら、表向きは存在
To
しな
my
い特殊
knowledge,
部隊。
while you are unregistered dolls affiliated with the NANFA,
実態は傭
we
兵
are
そのもの。
fundamentally mercenaries who work for money.
Oh yeah, she's very naive. But hey, they're still registered dolls? Huh, interesting.
私の雇い主なら、今よりはるかにいい待遇を提示できます。
My employer can match your client's price. Provided you surrender to us and accept the deletion of your Naval Cloud logs corresponding to this time period.
明確にご回答願います。そちらの同意をもっ
Please
て
give me a concrete answer.
協力関係は構築された
A
ものとみなし
reply
ます。
a reply in the affirmative will constitute acceptance of cooperation.
Now is when you should cuss her out too. Okay. You know, I know, come on, go ahead. I know you have it in you.
旧式の第二世代人形とはいえ、人形は感情に流されるべきではありません。
Even though you are only second generation dolls, you are still dolls, and as such you should not be swayed by your emotions.
あなた方が現実に向き合い、最善を選び取れるよう願っております。
I hope you will make an accurate assessment of the facts and make the logical choice.
いい加減な情報だこと。
Your intelligence is not accurate.
今なんと
What?
ハイド404規則通信と会議について第1条
She really sucks at negotiation. Yes. Even better if she does it in German. Yeah, yeah, come on, girl. Where is that coursing mouth of yours? I miss it.
Rules and regulations for high profile members. Commissions. Article 1.
依頼者が依頼を取り消すもしくは依頼者が規約に背いた場合を除きいかなる理由があろうと任務を放棄してはならない
Unless a commission is cancelled or the client violates the terms of the commission, no mission in progress may be aborted under any circumstances.
一度決めたルールは絶対よ異例は認められない隊長である
Rules
私も
are
含め
made
て
to
ね
be followed. Nobody can break them. This includes me as a squad leader.
何より
And besides,
Luke pauses for a moment. Her tone becomes more forceful.
エリート人形としてあんたみたいな命令に従うだけのガラクタが一番気に食わないのよ
as an elite doll, I am sick and tired of listening to a tin can like you who only knows how to follow orders.
Okay. Doll on doll racism. I don't know why that was so funny. Well, damn. Lucifer clearly did not expect this response from Crookey, because the channel goes silent. She has stunned her into silence. Beautiful. I love it. I love her. Yeah! See, my man? You can get along, sort of. That genuine laugh, I loved it. Somebody called the base department. Let me hear that again.
エリート人形としてあんたみたいな命令に従うだけのガラクタが一番気に食わないのよ
あーちくしょう人形のセリフでここまで笑ったのは初めてだぜ
Your cope sees ratio at BTFO. God damn, this is the first time I've actually been happy to hear something from a doll.
おいブルーだかなんだか知らねえがよく聞け
What did he call? Did he call her? Now then, Bloodbolt, or whatever the fuck your name is, listen up. Yes. Getting absolutely cloned on in the open comms, yeah. This writing is big. I feel sorry for the blood because she's legit baby mentality and it's just being used. I mean, yeah, they're programmed to just obey, but, you know, it's funny. This is peak writing. Losu was not ready for this level of shit talk. No, she was not. Dmitry looking into the Xbox chat. Bliatboss or whatever the fuck your name is. Wait, let me just check. My sister was talking to me. Alright. I don't feel bad for her because I don't believe for a minute that she will let them live. Yeah, she wouldn't. She would probably kill them all anyway. But you know, they're dolls. We can reprogram them. Pliatnos, or whatever the fuck your name is. Sorry, I'm still. This line is just. It's so big. You're right. We only have one life. But how we live it and where we live it up is up. How we live it and where we live it is up to us. So if you want my life, you can come and take it. But here's the thing. You can't do that right now, can you?
I have the fullest confidence of doing so.
If you do, then why blow the mine entrances? Wouldn't sending your bully boys in to take us out be easier? The way I see it, there are only a couple of reasons why you do things that way. One, you don't actually have that much in the way of firepower, and you don't have that much control over the collapsed particles, which means everything you just said was a bluff.
時間稼ぎだ。離れた場所からこっちに近づいてるか、何かを待ってるかのどちらかだろう。
Two, you're stalling for time because you're too far from our little cave. Or perhaps you're waiting for the right moment or something. And as I recall, those mangy mods of yours didn't have any tin cans with them when we fought them earlier. And you want to bluff on an empty hand with me? Oh god, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Okay, look at this big writing. You want to bluff on an empty hand with me? What's occult? I'm assuming these are just Russian courses, but you know. I was hustling when you were still a fucking screw in the toolbox. Suka. You throwing all the slab on her. So for all third general had this ingrained superiority complex ingrained in them, one way or another? Yeah.
What a shame, First Sergeant Dmitry. I was under the impression that you were an intelligent man. Still, I look forward to meeting you later.
The transmission ends, and the signal cuts off shortly after. In her vehicle, Bluesphere checks the call duration.
Have you found them?
大体は特定できた。
Yes, I've got the rough location locked down. Appropriate is a form of expressing astonishment based on the word for male organ. Ah, I see. Amazing. Beanies.
では人員を再分配し戦力を集中させましょう。
Reallocate your men and focus your
爆破した箇所
firepower.
を含め各入り口の保証はそ
Do
の
not
まま
move
に
your sentries from each main entrance. This includes the ones which have already been blasted shut.
坑道内のコーラップス粒子は完全に放たれている。放射線量の上昇は緩やかになるはず
The
だ。
particles within the collapsed crystals inside the tunnel complex have already been fully released. Since the radiation intensity won't go up too much anytime soon, do you think they'll try to reposition if they get the chance?
彼らの物資では広範囲の移動は不可能でしょう。
The
近くにい
remaining
る生き
supplies will
袋
not
だ
allow
けで
them
も
to
手に
attempt
余るは
large
ずです。
movements. The others remaining in the tunnels will consider a major threat to them.
私はあと1時間で到着します。それまでは一切の不
I
手
will
際は
arrive
許
in
され
about
ま
1
せん。
hour. Do not make any mistakes until then.
わかった。
She will arrive. Okay, I should really leave it up to here, but let's do one more. This is a stage anyway, so it should be a little bit shorter than a proper story node, hopefully. Erroneous extrapolation. After eliminating all mistakes, what remains is the answer. Sheesh, damn, okay. Are you sure about that? No, but you know, I still have time to do one more. 404 heads over to the entrance they used to enter the mine. As expected, it's been blasted shut.
お姉ちゃん試してみたけどやっぱり瓦礫が多すぎてとてもじゃないけど無理。
I tried clearing the rocks away, but there are too many of them and they're too big. I don't think we can get rid of them.
アンドリス、外付け装備で瓦礫を貫ける。
Andoris, can you use your big gun to clear us a path?
Andoris doesn't respond eagerly to Cloaky like she usually does. However, she doesn't seem to have blue screen either. Clearly, she's distracted by something.
アンドリス、
クルカイ隊長どうしたの？
Is something the matter, leader?
何か気づいたの？処理落ちがひどいなら情報の整理は私に任せて。
Did you notice something? If you're having trouble processing it, you can transfer the information on your progress to me.
ううんただ不安になっちゃって。
No, I feel a little uneasy.
さっきの通信それに調査隊のみんな。
It's about that transmission just now, as well as the condition of the Serbicorps troopers.
彼らならしばらくは平気よ。
They'll be fine for now.
ブルースフィアの言葉を信じるなら敵は直接攻撃してくるはず。その前に周辺環境の把握と物資の補給を済ませておかないと。
As for Blue Spear, she just said that she'd much rather make the chip and record it directly. So we need to investigate our surroundings, replenish our supplies, and come up with a plan to hold her off and counterattack.
相手の戦力は不明よ。万全の体制で迎え撃つしかないわ。
We don't know how strong she is, but 404 needs to be ready to fight her.
違うの。私ブルースフィアの言ったことが調査隊の人たちに影響してないか心配で。
No, I mean, I'm worried about the effect Blue Spear's words might have had on the troopers.
あいつが言ったこと？条件の話？
Effect? Are you talking about Blue Spear's terms?
それなら私とディミトリーがはっきり断ったじゃない。あんなのとは絶対に手を組まない。
Dmitry and I have already rejected them. We will not be cooperating with them under any circumstances.
知ってる。でもね、グリーンエリアでいろんな人間に会ってきたからわかるの。
But leader,
やっぱり
I met a lot of humans in
私
the
た
Green
ちと
Zone,
人間は違う。
and humans aren't like us.
ディミトリーさんの言葉もみんなが戦友のために流した涙も
本物だと信じてる。
I believe in Mr. Dmitry, and I believe that the troopers have wept and bled for their fallen friends.
弱さは不安を生んで、
But everyone has
不
their
安は
weak
感染
sides,
してゆく。
and if they feel uneasy about this, it might spread.
ブルースフィアの目的はわからない。でも、彼女が出した条件は、
I don't know what Blue
調
Sphere's
査隊
aim
の
is,
人たちにとって、
but for the
渡
troopers,
りに船だと思う
the
の。
terms she stated while trying to negotiate with us must have felt like a lifeline thrown out to a drowning man in a storm.
言われてみれば確かに生き残るために頑張って
You
きた
got
んだ
a
もん。
point. They were always trying to take the easy way out before
って
this.
言われたらそりゃ揺さぶ
And
ら
now
れるよ
that,
ね。
now that an alternative's shown itself, a single person giving into his weakness might lead to everyone turning traitors.
お姉ちゃん、やっぱり気をつけた方がいいよ。もし調査隊
We
が
should
裏
be
で
careful,
ブルースフィア
Big
と
Sis.
手を組んだりしたら、それこそおしまいだよ。
We'll truly be finished if they pretend to be putting up a fight while they're secretly working with Blue Sphere. Mercy picks this moment to yawn, to the point of tears beating up at the corners of her eyes. And then she reaches up to rub them clean.
こんな時に眠くなるなんてどういう神経してんのよ。
How can you even be sleepy at a time like this?
しょうがないじゃん。今回の任
But
務
I'm
本
tired.
当にしんどいんだもん。
This mission is so tiring.
余計なことは考えなくていい。チップも録音も私たちが持ってる。
Don't worry about
調
that for
査隊
now.
がどう決断しようと
We have the
私た
chip
ちには
and the
影響しな
recorder.
いわ。
So no matter what the Survey Corps decides to do, it won't affect our current mission. Luca looks around.
美容家、ここにセンサーを置いて。ネットワー
Belkas,
クにはつな
set
げな
up
く
an
ていい
alarm here in case Magni
敵が
tries to
侵入
assault
して
through
きた
here.
ら最大音量で警報を鳴らしなさい。
Don't use a network alarm. The moment it picks up motion, have it make as much noise as possible.
捜索任務を続けるわよ。ブルースフィアの口ぶりじゃいつ攻めてきてもおかしくない。
We'll keep
それま
exploring
で
the
にでき
area.
る限りここの状況を
Considering
把
what
握
Blue
してお
Sphere
かな
said
い
just
と。
now, they're going to move in soon. All we can do until then is learn as much about the tunnels as we can.
Backstab like true KCCO. Hell yeah.
Forty-four searches around the location of the mine sanatorium while keeping track of the time and their distance from the Survey Corps. They check in with them at regular intervals to share what they've learned.
そろそろ2時間経ったよね。何も起こらないじゃん。
We've been searching for almost 2 hours, right? There's pretty much nothing here.
療養施設が倒産した時にめぼしいものなんて全部回収されちゃったんだよ。
I figured they went around clearing out all the assets in the
また
sanatorium when they
骨
went
折り損
bankrupt.
だ。
So everything useful and valuable was probably taken away long ago. Yeah, looks like all that effort was for nothing.
そうでもないみたいだよ。
It wasn't entirely fruitless. And Doris pats a pipe beside her.
パイプにまだガスが残ってる。これってホワイトエリアじゃ結構貴重なんだから。
These pipes still have some natural gas in them. It's used for a lot in the white zones.
だからなんなのさ。風呂でも沸かしてみんなで入る？
What is it even used for anyway? Are we going to have the Survey Corps guys take a hot bath?
それにあると言ってもほんのわずかだし、肝心のガスタンクは空っぽじゃん。
And besides,
こんなの
according to our
ホワイトエリア
sensors,
に
there's
持って
only a
った
little
って
left
金に
inside.
なりゃしないよ。
The main storage tanks have already been emptied out, so if we try to sell this data to white zone gas companies, they'll probably turn their noses up at us.
でも私たち結構運がいいと思わない？
But we're actually really lucky, aren't we?
ほら、天然ガスって誘爆するでしょ？
Natural gas is explosive, right?
ガス漏れがあってもおかしくないよね。
Since these pipes are so old, they should be pretty leaky too, right?
ブージャムや生き袋があれだけ暴れたのによく誘爆しなかったよね。
But they're all fine, even after we fought that boogeyman to sell it and all.
人間もやることがいい加減なんだよ。こんな危なっかしいもの使うなら。
Honestly, these humans are such morons. Everything was running fine, but they didn't even bother to check the pipes before they left. Now there's all that dangerous gas in there.
ガス漏れなんて起こってないよ。
匂いでわかるもん。
You just have to sniff to tell that there aren't any leaks.
それはどうかな。未処理のガスって実は無味無臭
That's
なん
not
だよ。
necessarily true.
イエローエリアでは
Natural
天然
gas only
ガ
has
ス
a
なんて使われ
smell
てない
when
か
an
ら
odorant is added to
誰も
it.
ガス探知機なんて持ってないしね。
It's colorless and odorless
今みた
in
いな
and
状
of
況
itself.
は意外と危険なんだよ。
Nowadays, they don't use natural gas in yellow zones, so most people on those don't have anything to detect it with. That makes it fairly dangerous.
でも大丈夫。天然ガスはある程度の濃度がないと爆発しないの。
Still, you don't have to
ここの
worry.
面積とガスの量なら
Natural gas only becomes explosive once it reaches a certain concentration. Considering the size of this place and the amount of stored gas, there's pretty much no chance of an explosion.
へえ、そうなんだ。アンドリスって物知り？
Really? Andoris, we should call you Andoris Speedy or something.
There it is.
だね。まるで歩く百科事典だよ。
Oh yeah, maybe the great library of Andoris, like in those isekai series.
グリーンエリアの衛星都市は天然ガスがメインだから。
Green Cell satellite
カ
cities
フ
make
ェテリア
heavy
の
use
安
of
全マニュア
natural
ルでも
gas.
紹介されてたの。
So the handbooks for
それで
cafeteria
ちょっとね。
employees have detailed rules and regulations for working with gas. That's how I knew. Oh, she used to work in cafeterias?
任務に無関係な雑学コーナーは終わった？
Right, that's enough talk about trivia that's irrelevant to the mission.
総員、警戒を維持。任務を続けて。
Everyone, stay alert and carry on. Upon reaching a fork in the road, Andoris suddenly comes to a halt.
隊長、待って。
Hang on, leader. I found something.
何？
ずっと放射線量を計測してたんだけど、こ
I've
こ
been monitoring collapse radiation intensity all this time, and the levels in this area are lower than in other places.
コーラプス粒子がここまで届いてないんじゃない？
Could it be that the collapse particles haven't spread here yet?
アンドリス、5分間計測してコーラプス粒子の流れをシミュレーションしなさい。
Andoris, run a simulation on collapse particle spread rate with wind speed factor in, at 5-minute intervals.
はい、隊長。
Analysis being made.
結果が出たよ。
Leader, I have the results.
ここの粒子、密度が低い上に、ほぼ一定のベクトルを高速移動してるね。
Particle density here is fairly low, while their velocity is quite high, and they are all moving in a similar direction.
やっと見つけたわ。
You found it at last.
何を？
What did you find?
出口だよ。粒子の動きからして、ここは風が吹いている。
An exit.
つまり、
If the
外への
particles are
出
moving
口が
fast,
近く
there
に
must
あ
be
るって
wind.
こと。
As this wind doesn't occur naturally in a mine, there must be some opening to the outside nearby that's letting it in.
Wow, Belka, you should be ashamed that Meshti got that before you.
へえ、そうなんだ。あミスティのことだから、どうせアニメとかで知った知識なんでしょ？
Oh, I see. You must have learned it from an anime or something.
私だってすぐに出口を見つけてやるんだから。
I'll go find the exit right
お
now.
姉ちゃん、
Just wait for the good news, Pixies.
With that, Belka runs off into the passage on the left.
まだ風がどこから吹いてるか教えてないのに。
We didn't even tell her which way the wind was coming from.
大丈夫。美容家の選んだ道で合ってるよ。
Don't worry. Belka just happens to be going the right way.
いつになったら命令に従えが理解できるのやら。
The words listen to instructions have never managed to take root in that head of hers.
Luke shakes her head and continues into the left-hand passage.
アンドリス、分かれ道に戻って調査隊と状況を共有しなさい。終わったらこっ
Andoris,
ちに合
head
流。
back to the previous fork and
ミ
relay
ス
what
ティ
you
は
learned to the
私と
survey
一緒に美容
corps.
家の後を追うわよ。
Then meet up with us when you're done. Meshti, pick up the pace. We need to catch up to Belka.
まだ息袋が残ってる。 あの子一人じゃ危険すぎるわ。
There are quite a lot of elites here. It'll be dangerous for her if she's alone. Woohoo, map. Let's see.
おじけついたの？どうってことないわ。降参するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。降参するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Slowly, he goes.
引っ張らないでよ。上げていくよ。眠い。ちゃちゃっと終わらせて。
どうってことないわ。現実を知りなさい。
No, just that bear. Oh, never mind.
Belgar runs so fast. She's gone in the blink of an eye. It's so dark inside. She's got some guts. Stop talking nonsense and keep up.
There they go.
お姉ちゃん。もう会えなくなるかと思ったよ。
Of course she was in trouble.
Thanks for saving me, big sis. There were so many elites here that I thought I'd never see you again.
今度勝手に走り回ったら知らないから。
If you run out by yourself again, you can save yourself.
だってお姉ちゃんの役に立ちたかったんだもん。
But I just wanted to help you, big sis.
開き直るつもり？
What? It's my fault now?
ミス一つで済むかもしれない状況なのよ。
The situation now is dangerous. Any mistakes could be fatal for all of us.
ごめんなさ
I won't do it again.
い。もうしないからお姉ちゃん許して。
I'm sorry, big sis. Forgive me, please.
After saying that Belka seems sufficiently contrite, Kluka decides to drop the subject. A short distance away, Andoris is running toward the group after passing on her findings to the survey corps.
アンドリス、風速に変化は？
Andoris, any change in wind speed?
奥に行けば行くほど風が強くなってる。
Yes, I've been monitoring the
出
wind
口
speed
が近いんだ
data.
と思う。
The further we go, the higher it gets. So I'm confident we'll find the exit soon.
よし、このまま進むわよ。
Good, keep going.
At last, 404 reaches the end of the mine tunnel.
何これ。
What the heck is this?
そんな。
No way.
The tunnel entrance before them has almost been blocked off by rocks, but a wooden beam has fallen to deflect the fallen stones in such a way that there is an irregular hole roughly 30 centimeters wide on the lower left side of the entrance. Sheesh. There is no light coming in through the hole, probably because it's quite a distance to the outside.
but they can hear the cold night wind of the yellow zone blowing through it.
どう頑張っても通れそうにないよ。ミシュティのチビでも無理そう。
Well, there's no way anyone's getting through that. Not even a bandit like Meshti will do it.
アンドリス、この隙間周辺の瓦礫の厚さと構造を計測して。
Andoris, scan the thickness of the surrounding rocks. Assess the loading of the surrounding rocks and support beams. Then see if your big gun can punch through them.
了解。
I love how they just call it her big gun.
Andoris performed some quick measurements.
隙間の直径を50センチから1メートルまで広げられると思う。
Later, I estimate it should be able to enlarge the hole to around 50 centimeters or 1 meter wide.
十分よ。
That'll do.
それと、瓦礫に付着したクリスタルからして、この入り口、
Also,
だいぶ前から
given
塞
the
がってたみた
crystallization
い
of the。surrounding rocks, this collapse was not caused by the demolition just now, but by something that took place a long time ago.
なるほどね。
Luca looks down and thinks.
マグニセキュリティの仕業じゃないとすれば、ここが盲点である可能性が高い。
That means there is a high chance this place is a blind spot in Maggie Security's
調
fast
査隊
layout.
が脱出するには十分ね。
If we can make this breach 1 meter wide, it'll allow us and the Survey Corps to escape through it.
話の腰を折るつもりはないけどさ。
Yeah, this probably isn't the right time for this,
装備を
but
起動するだけで精一杯で。
my backup battery only has enough charge to just barely start up that big gun. It's definitely not enough for an attack, not even one.
あれ、消費量とんでもないよ。
That thing holds way
バ
too
ッテ
much
リーの半
power.
分くらい壊れちゃってる。
Like, it's eaten up almost half my charge on this mission so far.
ミシュティ、大変だったね。
It must have been hard on you, Mashti.
ねぎらってくれるのは嬉しいけど、後でデールに改善してもらわ
Well,
なきゃ。
I'm not exactly complaining about it here, but I do need to get Deer to improve its efficiency a little.
なら、あいつに会わないとね。
You'll need to meet him first in order to do that.
アンドリスは分かれ道に戻って状況を共有。他はその場で待機。
Andoris, head back to the fork and update them. Everyone else, stand by.
404を敵に回したのが運の尽きよ。
Damn, okay. Okay, we're not missing much, I think. Next time we should be able to finish. But for now, let me just go back here a little bit. That is unfortunately all the time I have for today. I need to do house chores, so I can't keep reading. But yeah, good progress was made in spite of like the 1 hour. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. And in spite of the 1 hour yap session. Around halfway through, yeah, more than halfway through. Since we're the yapping and story-based Dmitry's so good. The 1 hour Hoyo yap session that happens sometimes. But yeah, I am excited to finish this. But yeah, stay tuned. I should be able to finish this on a Saturday, on one Saturday. I just don't know if it will be next week or the week after. We shall see. Because as I said, I might take next weekend off if my sister takes the weekend off. But that still remains to be seen. So, it probably I mean, I'll make a note when I make my schedule because I mean I won't know until Thursday anyway. So I need to see also when to finish the reverse event. I need to. There's not much time left for that. Oh well, I'll think about that next week. So yeah, I don't know if I'll make a schedule next week or maybe I just post on Twitter whatever streams are planned as they come. I'll see about that. So yeah, stay tuned. And yeah. I heard how Bluepack reduced the event to 4 weeks now. Yeah, I think they want to catch global up to CN. So they're shortening the patch times. But like, you know, now I missed a week of streaming because I mean this week was kind of weird for me. And then I got sick, so you know, I kind of been all over the place. And now I'm like, do I have enough time to finish streaming this? But yeah, attempt will be made on Tuesday. There will be Reverse 1999 for real. So yeah, stay tuned for more Barcarola. On Tuesday, for sure. And then I'll see for the rest of the week. Considerations have to be made. Might just do a long stream on Thursday since, you know, I have Friday off. But I would like to not do it since I also have Thursday off, kind of. I took the day off because I need to take my sister to a dentist, as I said. But yeah, we'll see. Choices will be made after the stream on Tuesday. So yeah, maybe there will be no schedule this week and just me being like, hey, stream tomorrow. Or hey, stream today. So stay tuned on Twitter. Or maybe I still do the schedule but are like, everything is waiting to be confirmed except for Tuesday. Like everything else is like, maybe this will happen. We'll see. But yeah, for now, gotta go do some chores around the house and then go pick up my sister. So thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed. This event has been really great so far. And yeah, remember to take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, stay safe. And I'll see you guys next time. So bye bye.